All right, this is going to be a little different video here. I previously have been stacking up a lot of the silvers as per mentioned. I have looked through these in the past and I need to reevaluate and look at the things that I've got again because there's more varieties. There's a lot more stuff that's been added to these coins. Basically for the Morgans that they already have the VAMs. They come out with new VAMs. They come out with top 50, hot 100s. The peace dollars are going to also possibly there's high relief coins also that, yet again, they've come out with a different year of the high relief coins also. So I want to kind of take a gander through these. I've got a handful more that I'm going to put up here. The Eagles also, a lot of the times we get these Eagles, we just throw them in cases, get them graded and leave them in cases. But a lot of the times these things will have doubling or they have a die clash that's actually on the flatter part of the right side of the Liberty's arm and stuff like that, right here, just in a flat spot area. So there'll be doubling actually on this, or a die clash right up underneath the cloak, right above the sun, or doubling of the sun itself. So there's a lot to look for on these also. This one here was actually sent over to me from the mother-in-law and father-in-law. Funny story was they sent it, it got mixed up in a bunch of baby clothes, and it was actually sent off to one of my wife's friends' places. See that right there? It looks like it's a little die chip that's sitting right there, right above the U. So quite possible, but pretty nice coin. But anyhow, so these will have die clashes, doubling die chips, and everything else on top of that. So when you submit these, if possible, when you submit them, you can always ask for that, especially if you're going through NGC and PCGS. They will name it, they will put it on the case for you. I don't think Annex or ICG or NGA and all them other coin companies will do that. But then to my half dollars, so I do have the Kennedy halves, there's Barber halves, there's a bunch of other little halves in there. The nickels, silver nickels that I have, there's some more 40% half dollars there, some quarters. I've got a bunch of Barber quarters. I'm gonna say it's a couple of Washingtons on top, a bunch of Barber quarters. So definitely some things I need to look for varieties. A lot of stuff that's actually popping up on videos that I've been watching. If you don't see a variety in the, like I say, NGC, PCGS, NX, ICG, AccuGrade, all them other coin slabs that you've got, if you don't see the variety, there's a ton of videos that add extra detail to a lot of these coins. I mean, a ton of them, like the 1964 Kennedy half dollar. And at the end of the four, it'd be a nice little older four. At the end of the four, it might have a drip of extra die chip there. It might be a little die crack that's off to the four. Supposedly that's like a special mint set error. So if you ever find one of those, they're worth quite a bit of money. But then too, this is our silver jar from the corner over there. Now it's actually some 1964 90%ers that I have in here, and I am going to keep it all separate. So I'm going to keep all of the silver that I have. This isn't all that I have, but just right away that I've brung out of I've got a big box here loaded with silver, loaded with stuff. I've got 2 red boxes up there loaded with silver also. I've got a lot more silver that's stacked up in here, stuff on top, and more silver that's stacked up in. So I've got quite a bit, but I just want to basically look at the constitutional stuff that I've got right now. Anyways, as I mentioned, I'm going to look through this too. I'm going to make sure to put it back in the jar. This is what we've got out of coin rolls just for this year. So I just want to let y'all know that. And then too, kind of crazy, I pulled this out of the chains that I had today. I went and got some Subway and they gave me a 1958 Philadelphia. So definitely look for the DDO on that. And then also in the same handful of, it's tough to see, but there is a die chip right there. It's kind of funny because I've been looking for the Wounded Buffalo, and it's got a little portion, a little bitty piece of extra die crack or die chip right there. So anyhow, kind of wild. But as I did mention, there will be a giveaway, and the giveaway this time, and I'm kind of a day or two behind on the weekly run, but anyhow, let's go ahead and give away a Wyoming Goldback. This is 1/1000 Troy 24 karat. This is pretty nice. It's all gold. And then two, we will run with one of the 1961 Denver BU quarters. I think there's a couple of varieties on here. I may not even have looked at it. Probably engraved tail feathers or D over D or some DDO, DDR or something like that on there. But I'll check here in a little bit just to take a gander. But anyhow, let's do a 1961 Denver silver and gold. So just to make sure that we've got both of those going out for whoever's going to win this. So anyhow, let me go ahead and jump on the silver right here. I'll probably separate it in different stacks and then I'll bring you in whenever I look through it. So I do have some, it's basically doubling, it's machine doubling definitely on one of these for sure. I'll get to the other one here in a second. This is, so I'm running on the Morgans right quick, 1897. This is the one that I actually got in on the mystery bag here a couple of days ago, a week or so ago, how maybe. This is going to be 1897S. Now, the 1897S doesn't have a variety. There's nothing on the PCGS or NGC website. But as always, whenever you're searching around on these coins, it maybe you don't see a variety at all on there. There's not a VAM. There's not anything that telltale signs on any of those websites to let you know that there may be something going on. There's multiple Morgans that have gaps in the, I can't remember, is it denticles or whatnot around the coin? It's not the reed that's on the edge, but around these denticles that are around here. And they usually have either lettering or wording that comes out of it because it's a clash or something that happened. Now that right there is something sticking out. That's something there that might be with the coin. It's just a gander for me to look around, and I'm looking at the whole thing, make sure there's no doubling, make sure there's no clash, make sure there's nothing extra that's on here that stands out that I'm looking at. And as I mentioned, there is a VAM that does have that denticle that's kind of separated a little bit, and it has something in it. So that right there is just something that just kind of stands out to me. I'm going to do a little more research on it, but that's definitely an additional piece of silver pin there, pulled off of that denticle there, that has something going on with it. Whether it was a clash, whether, you know, it's a miscut die on here and it was just stuck there somehow. But 1897S, it's definitely got something on it. And as I mentioned, you might not see it in the book, you might not see it online, but doesn't mean it doesn't have it, you know, doesn't mean it's nothing. It's got to be something on there, possibly something on there. So I'm just going to, wishful thinking. But anyhow, let's move over to this one real quick. Just wanted to show you this doubling. It's a machine doubling. Got a case on it, so I got to zoom in just a smidge. Other way. Just some machine doubling on there. So on this one, for sure. Now the B on here, on this one here, it's actually something going on with it. Let me find that B. Yeah, there it is. So probably more machine doubling, but it looks like it's actually stamped on the top side. For sure on the bottom here, it's stamped on the top side, and this one also looks on top side. I don't know if it's kind of vice versa stamped to where it's deeper on this side and higher on this side, but anyhow, something on there for sure on that B. But kind of cool. Like I say, just a nice little video to bring y'all in, and as I mentioned, for y'all to double check your coins. For, like I say, especially your older ones, you never know. Varieties pop up every day. They add new varieties monthly to PCGS websites, NGC websites. They have a slew of videos of new coins being found with errors and varieties and oddities and so forth and so on. So anyhow, I'm going to keep working on this stack. All right, we didn't have anything in the Peace dollars or the Morgan dollars. Kind of crazy story, this 1925S. I dug up metal detecting out of Brush, Colorado here. You can see the S right there. And it would have had a couple of different varieties on there. There's a 1902 O. There's another 1900 O. I did a 1889 Philadelphia. And then I had two more Peace dollars there with that 1897 that I got in the other day. So anyhow, just to let you know what I went through in there. But this is going to be the Kennedy half dollars here. So we do have the 1969s, 1968s, and you see with pretty good stack there. 67, 66, 65, and then 64s. Not a whole lot of 64s, but as I mentioned, there is a couple of varieties that it came out, and I've saw some videos on that I definitely want to double check these for. So just letting you know, I'm going to jump on to the half dollars here. So this might actually be a long video, so I'm just going to cut to basically the bigger DDOs, DDRs that I find. So this one right here, this is a 1964, and nice toning on it. Reverse handovers, kind of crazy. And 1964 can have a DDO and a DDR, and I want to say that's for the Philadelphia. And when I was mentioning previously about it, so in the 1964, you might have just a nice little die chip that sits right here, and that would be the special mint set, and they're pretty rare. So it's a 1964 silver, and if you have a nice little die chip that sit there, supposedly the video I'd watched, meaning that it was a special mint set. They didn't make a whole ton of them. It was a big error that didn't need to come out. So as I mentioned to y'all, if y'all do have a 1964, it's either a little die chip there or right at the end of the 4 here, right at where this little peak comes out at. If it's dripping down, looks like it's pouring off of there. If you have that on there, either one of those two spots, definitely need to get it checked out and get it looked at. But as you're looking right here, this is going to be the FS005, I think they called it, and Variety Vista. But you can see the notching right there. It's kind of doubled on the bottom here, but it's a little worse for wear, but definitely notched there. Inside of the 4 is a little notched around. They did have one for the T, the thickness of the T in the belly there, and the tine that comes off to this right here is actually supposed to be split a little bit. A little tough to see that, but I'm going to bring you up here to the top. It's definitely doubled on the R, all the way around the R on the tip top here, coming around. They don't have this one as a variety, but it doesn't mean it's not in there. So the same thing with the E. If I can lean it just a little bit, you can definitely see at the end of the E, and it's actually on the top side of the E. It's completely split all the way across. So definitely going to be a DDO. I want to say it's a little lamination error or something like that going on with there, but you can see nice chunk of a hole and stuff like that taken out of it. But I don't know if that would be lamination error, but pretty interesting. Like I say, it's nice to go back over. I always bite fingernails, making sure I don't miss anything. The lighting was right. Something happening on these coins that I'm not seeing. Let's actually turn it over to the reverse, see if there's anything going on. I don't think there was. No machine doubling, possibly. Let's go over here to the stars. Don't see anything going on with stars. S is not tined. T looks good. Yep. So definitely going to be a DDO. You know, possibly worth a few more dollars, possibly not. But yet again, that is still a pretty cool find and something I'll probably flip up and keep to a side, because that is a DDO and I do look for errors. So got a lot more to look at, because actually that is the first coin out of the 1964 stack. All right, I had just a couple of them to look at through the Kennedy halves here. Actually, just to bring you in also to show you that. Look at that. That definitely was an ender coin. Nice toning to that one. Then you flip it over. Pearlescent. Pretty crazy. 1968. So this right here is a 1966 Philly for sure. So nothing major on there. As I was looking through, it's got a nice die crack all the way through here. It goes all the way through the N, the I, the T, the E through there. I know some of the older coins have like die breaks and stuff like that for the cracks through there, but that crack's pretty cool. So just something random out of there. And then this one is the 1967, and this one had, let's get over here just a smidge to me. So this one had, where are they at? Doubled stars. There's a couple of them that are doubled right there. See how they're on top of each other? It's just stamped on top and stamped on top. But other than that, it didn't have anything else going on for it. and it doesn't even have a DDR for the 1967. So pretty interesting. Might be a double star there. Looks like it's just a little bitty tail end of the star piece here, and then a bigger portion at the bottom of it. So probably a little more on there. But kind of cool. Something else to look for on the coins. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the quarters here. All right, I've been through a majority of the quarters. A lot of them are just really worn down, so you really can't see anything for doubling purposes and so forth, so on, RPMs. So I'm going to get to the 1964D here in a second, but I'm holding up actually a 1963D under the scope, and the variety that it's actually a RPM. So you can definitely see there's a D over D right here for it. Zoom it in just a little bit. You can see it kind of plainly right here by looking at it, but whenever you pick it up, it's definitely a D over D. And this, as I mentioned, was a 1963. So this doesn't show up as any variety in the, like I say, NGC or PCGS. It does have it on Variety Vista that I saw. So make sure if you're using any websites to help you out for DDOs, RPMs, DDRs, and stuff like that, use Variety Vista. And I'll put it in the description over here also. 1963 RPM, so that's definitely going to be a D over D, but it's in probably AU53 condition. A little tough because it's got a hairline there. It's got a lot of detail on it. The reverse is kind of got a little bit of feathers up on the chest there, so not too terribly bad. Actually, let me look at that beak real quick. Yeah, no, not a die crack coming out, but anyhow, it's pretty cool. So then I got the 1964. This is going to have the Denver. There's a D right there at the bottom. Now, what you're looking for also on here is the E and the S right there. I want to say they need to be further away. Could be wrong. There's actually 4 different ties. So I want to say it needs to be further away. There's a little bitty gap right there between E and S. It needs to be just a little bit further over with the S. And if you come down here on top of the A, you see this leaf that's right here on top of the A. It's either barely touching, it's a little worn in, so it's either barely touching or just off of it a little bit. Now the proof reverse one will have the leaf to where it's actually into the A a little more. So definitely look at your 1964 Denvers to see if you have a proof reverse, because they are worth quite a few more dollars than what the basic ones are. But yet again, anyhow, so this is going to be all the Washingtons here. I want to say, yeah, this is going to be the barbers and stuff like that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on over here to the barbers, bring it if I find something else. Well, I didn't see anything on the barbers either, because as you see, they're pretty slick. But yet again, it's still barbers. This one here was kind of cool because put it up under the scope and I double checked everything on it. Didn't see anything, but the 1, 9, and the 4 aren't really lined up. You can definitely tell the 4 is way up higher than the 1 and 9. 191 is there. So we turn this smidge. Yeah, you can definitely tell how high it is. That's pretty cool though. A little different. I'm gonna hold off actually on the nickels there, and I'm gonna actually hold off on the jar here too, because like I said, this video is gonna be quite long. So I will have a couple more rolls of nickels that I'm gonna pull out of the box here, and then I'll probably run the jar on the next hunt coming up, because I do got quite a few more things going on. I'm still waiting to get my submissions back from Annex. I was just checking a bunch of my slabs and stuff like that in my PCGS boxes and stuff, playing around, looking through some more coins over here to see if I need to do anything else with those to send those off. But let me go ahead and get everything out the way, bring the computer up, and I'm gonna take the URL from one of my videos from last week, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw a winner, so we can go ahead and draw for the 1961 there, the silverback, and like I said, the stickers are going to come with it. You won't have to pay anything. I'm going to ship it over to you. So let me go ahead and get everything out the way, and we'll go ahead and do that right now. All right, we got everything set up. We got the URL in there. We got all the filters taken care of. I already went down here and I put in to solve the sum was 8 plus 8. It popped us up with 18 comments. That's not duplicates. I think we had 40 something people in there for the duplicates if possible, but anyhow. So let's go ahead and cruise down here and press start and see who we've got. Alienated history again. All right, he won one a few weeks ago. So what a fantastic hunt. Love seeing all that silver, especially those walkers, and the proof is gorgeous. This is the second half video I've seen that has gone very well. I've got 2 boxes sitting that I need to go through. Might do it tonight. See if I can compare. Lowell, good hunt, always my friend. So alienated history, if you would, as I mentioned, I'm going to have in the description here for my email. Just resend back your information. I try to delete all the information that I do have from those folks who send me, like I said, their names and addresses and so forth, so on. So if you wouldn't mind, as again, in the description, I'll have the information just to send me your name and your address again. And congratulations on the win this week. There's always a chance next week. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, post a comment. If you wouldn't mind, also share the videos. It helps out for more viewers, more people to see. Just make sure you hit the notification button also for more videos to come. And I will get this out to you whenever I get your information. Y'all have a good day.